What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you my Supergirl trailer breakdown. So this is the next movie from DC Studios. Um, and you guys know how much of a nerd I am, and like nerd stuff is a pillar of this channel, and I have a DCU podcast. But I think this warrants its own video because I told you guys that even though I have a DCU podcast, that still means I'm still gonna be doing DC coverage during the week when I feel that it's necessary. And this is necessary. Bro, this trailer was incredible. Like, so what I like about this trailer the most, so we'll do a breakdown part in a minute, but what I like about this trailer the most is it has the funny, like, one-liner Guardians of the Galaxy type energy. And to let you guys know, this movie is not directed by James Gunn. Like, James Gunn isn't mentioned once in this trailer. It's directed by Craig Gillespie, the guy who directed I, Tonya and a bunch of other movies. And it's written by Anna Noguera. Um, so, like, but what I like about this trailer is that it's very, like, it has the music and her going around space and stuff like that, but it also has the seriousness. Like, Rufy asks her in the trailer, like, I thought all Kryptonians died in a day, or I thought Krypton died in a day, and then she goes, Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods weren't that kind. So, like, you get the funny, like, one-liner, like her being drunk, her being stuff, but you also get the seriousness of, like, this is a girl that lost her world and she had to literally watch it die, right? Like, that that's the best part of a Woman of Tomorrow storyline. And if you guys don't know, this movie adapts the Woman of Tomorrow storyline. Probably one of the best Supergirl storylines, or no, I'll say it. Probably the best Supergirl storyline that's ever been written. Right? So, like, um, so like, we get we so then like, we'll talk about the best line of the trailer in a few minutes, but so now I'm gonna do the breakdown of the trailer. So first, it it opens with Crypto just being Crypto. Like, if you saw the Superman movie, you know what I mean. Like, uh, he's just being Crypto. So it shows Crypto just jumping on, like, a record player and, like, almost knocking over alcohol on the record player, and then it shows him peeing on a newspaper depicting what happened in the first Superman movie, which is very interesting. So this takes place after Superman does, um, and then it shows Kara, like, waking up after a night drinking, and she goes, "Good job, buddy. You got it on all the paper," because he literally pisses on the newspaper, and then it says from Craig Gillespie, the direct. Well, it doesn't say the director of I, Tonya, but I'll just tell you he's the director of I, Tonya, right? And then and then she says, "I, Kara Zor-El, um, declare 23 my 23rd birthday as the best year yet." And then it shows her drinking. So they're aging her up a little bit from the comic book story, which is fine. I always say that comic book movies, comic book TV shows, comic book video games adapt. They don't copy and paste, right? So they're aging her up from 21 to 23. That's fine. I'm 23, so I like it that she's my age. Obviously I don't have Kryptonian powers, or I'm not that crazy as she is in this movie, like getting drunk every night. But like I like that she's my age, right? Um, um, so when it says then it shows her getting surrounded by, I would assume, bounty hunters, and she's like, "That's not a good idea. I mean, you guys aren't gonna be okay after this," or I forget the exact line. And then she's like, and then she's like, "I was talking about you," and then I think we see Lobo swinging an axe down on Kara and her deflecting the axe, right? Um, and why I say I think is if we do see Lobo in this trailer, it is like his silhouette. So if you guys don't know, Jason Momoa is playing the DC character that he always should have played, Lobo. So I liked him as Aquaman, but for any comic book nerd, Jason Momoa was born to play New Lobo, and every comic book nerd can agree on that. So it shows. I'm just gonna say it's Lobo. It shows Lobo swinging down an axe on Kara and her deflecting it, and then it shows Rufy saying the line, "I just told you, I thought Krypton, I thought all your people were dead. I thought your planet was destroyed in a day." And then Kara goes, "Krypton wasn't destroyed in a day. The gods aren't that kind." And stuff like that. And then it shows flashes of Krypton, which I like because, again, this story makes Supergirl very different than Superman, but she's still very heroic. Well, she's heroic to a certain extent, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But like what I like about that is it's differentiating her from Superman. Like Superman's very like happy-go-lucky, save everybody, right? And that's what we love about Superman. This version of Supergirl, she still saves people, and she's still a hero. But they're very different. They have very different philosophies, right? And stuff like that. So then Rufy asks Kara, like, does everybody from your planet have these powers, right? Because she has, like, all the same powers as Superman. And she's like, no, just two. Or just a clan of two or something like that. And then it shows like Kara doing a bunch of stuff, like running away and protecting Rufy and stuff like that. And then Rufy asks, "So what's Superman like?" And she says, "The best line in the trailer. He sees the good in everyone. I see the truth in everyone." In fact, I think that's the best line in one of the best lines I've ever heard in a trailer, because it automatically tells you, I'm not Superman, I'm not Clark, I'm not Kal-El, right? I'm like especially Supergirl in this story is very like, she doesn't kill people, but she's very like on the love. If you cause harm to somebody and that somebody helps you, or somebody gets the upper hand on you and you cause harm to them, she lets it happen, right? And that line is the best line in the whole trailer, because it immediately tells you, I may have the same powers as Superman, I may be related to Superman, but I'm not Superman. So then it shows this full like Supergirl suit without her wearing the jacket and stuff like that, because she flies up into space, and then it just shows her like taking an axe and wrecking fools, right? And then it says, coming June 26th, 2026, only in theaters, directed by Craig Gillespie, and written by Anna Noguera, who's also writing the Wonder Woman movie for DC as well. But yeah, Guys, this trailer was incredible. Um, I, I may be the first person to do a trailer breakdown on this trailer, but I've watched it like 7 times already. And what I like about this too is it's adapting one of the best Supergirl stories of all time, and they're automatically telling you, hey, they're both heroes, but Supergirl's not Superman, right? They're very different, right? They're related and they both care about each other, but what this storyline does is it makes Kara her own character, right? It makes Kara her own character. It doesn't just make her Superman's protector, right? It makes it makes her own character and shows you, like, I'm talking about the comic book story now of Woman of Tomorrow, but it shows you how she's still grieving her planet but she had to watch die, right? And stuff like that. And yeah, like, so this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, ladies and gentlemen, of 2026. So I I'm very, 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 very excited to see more of this movie. And yeah, like, my one complaint of this movie is we didn't see Lobo full on. Like, we saw his shadow, and you know it's Lobo, but um, we didn't see Lobo full on, which I get. But I almost guarantee to market this movie, they're gonna show Lobo in like trailer 2. I almost guarantee that. So, but yeah, like, this movie looks incredible. Um, you guys know I've pretty much, besides the Peacemaker season 2 finale, which I still like. I just think there's a lot of stuff that James Gunn could have improved on, right? Um, but besides the Peacemaker season 2 finale, I've loved everything that James Gunn has done so far with the DCU. And what interests me most is all the movies and the series that we have next year. So Supergirl, Clayface, and Lanterns aren't directed by James Gunn. They're not directed by James Gunn. James Gunn's just like the executive producer on it because he's the head of DC. But they're not directed by James Gunn. And if you remember what he said, hey, I don't want this to be the James Gunn universe. I want this to be the DC universe. So there's going to be different tones and everything. And this is a different tone than Superman was. This is a different tone than Peacemaker was, right? Like, as I said, like, my probably favorite thing in this trailer is it automatically tells you if you just thought that Supergirl was a clone of Superman, it automatically tells you Supergirl's different than Superman, which I love that, right? Um, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this trailer breakdown, and I hope you guys have a great day, and God bless you guys.